over here. Good morning. I am up bright and early, as you can see. Finally got a beautiful morning after a few days of rain. It's really getting crisp out. Anyways, I'm continuing that little mission of photographing as many trees that I can, that I find interesting looking, on the Riverview grounds. And this is next. So anyways, I'm going to get set up, and when I'm all set up, I'll bring you guys back. So I wanted to be a little tighter on that maple, so I'll move the camera forward a bit and to my left, or your right. You can see there's lots of sun on the ground there, that's fine. I kind of want these leaves over here to be lit up, so I'm waiting for that to happen. Hopefully it'll stay nice and calm. There is a breeze every now and then. While we're waiting, I'll give you a quick tour of the camera setup. Horizontal, which makes me happy because, as you know, you might as well tack on another 10 minutes to put this in vertical mode. It's not as simple as rotating the back. As you know, the whole camera has to come apart. Camera's level. Standards are vertical and parallel, hopefully, with one another. I've got the Nikkor 450 on and my bellows desagger. Composition, the left side border is about there, bottom, and my right frame is right to the edge of these leaves here. I hope they get lit up. They were the other day, and I focused on the maple. I'm thinking about throwing the background out of focus, so I might shoot wide open. Time to take some meter readings just to be ready. Oh, X-ray film, that's the Fuji EI-80. Take a reading off that tree way in the background. 1 second at f11. The white of the tree is 1.8 stops brighter. So if I put that little tree in the background on 3, it's almost zone 5. Now the sunlit grass, that's going to be bright. Yeah, it's 4.5 stops brighter. Zone 7.5. Those trees there in the shadow. And it's darker under there. 2 seconds at 11 1/3. All done. Another frantic moment. I tried to have you guys with me when I was meter reading, final meter reading, and taking the photo, but you guys froze on me. A couple of things happened. The first shot, I took my reading in the deep shadows of that tree over there, and I forgot to place it on zone 3, so in fact, that shadows are going to be on zone 5. I'm still going to go ahead and develop it anyways, see what happens. For the second sheet, I decided, before exposing it, I decided to pan the camera a little bit more to my left to enclose more of the pathway, a little bit more of that glowing tree in the background for a bit of balance. But at least I didn't forget to place it on the shadow on zone 3. That's it. I'm just gonna do the usual packing up routine, and I'll see you all back in the dark room. All right, 1,500 mils of part B, which is the borax solution. Now I need 30 mils of part A. All right, I've got the developer all ready. My stop, my fix, ready to go, but you guys cannot be here But I gotta do this in complete darkness because the Fuji X-ray film does not like my safe lights. So I'll bring you guys back when I'm fixing. Okay, here is the first negative of that Coliseum Maple that I accidentally exposed the shadow area here on zone 4. So I've ended up with a pretty flat negative, which I don't think I can use. Density range is 1.16. That's very, very short. I can probably print it on gelatin silver and adjust the filters a little bit. I'll probably end up with a really nice print. In fact, I might even try that, but I don't have any paper this size. So thankfully I took another shot, and this is how that other negative should have looked too. Nice and contrasty. Shadows are on zone 3. My density range is 1.73, and I think I can work with this one. I really like how the tree, it's in focus, and I threw the background out of focus, so it makes this stand out more. Just what I wanted. I think it's time to make a salt print. Haven't made one for ages, so why not? So the first thing you need to do is salt the paper. This is Canson XL Watercolor. I had to acidify it first in some sulfamic acid. And normally what I do is, when I'm salting the paper, I just like to stick it in a tray of the salt solution, but I think I'm going to try just brushing it on. So this is my 2% solution of my salt, just plain old Windsor table salt. And I'll give it a really good going over. Just make sure lots of this is soaked in. And I've marked off the corners of the negative, so after when I hang this up to dry, I'll know which side has the salt on it, so that I can go ahead and sensitize it with silver nitrate solution. But I can't do that until this has dried. I want to make sure I've gone way outside the negative area. That looks pretty good. I'll let it soak in before I hang it up. Alright, that looks good. I'll wait until it's kind of a matte finish, and I'll hang it up. Gotta wait for it to dry, and then I'm going to sensitize it with the silver nitrate solution. Okay, I'm all ready to apply the silver nitrate. I used 10 mils of silver nitrate solution to cover the negative area. And you probably noticed that I'm wearing gloves. You should always wear gloves when you are working with silver nitrate. It'll turn your skin black, which has happened to me. And you want to be really careful not to get it in your eyes, because apparently it can make you blind. So I probably really should be wearing some eye protection when I'm working with this. Okay, wait for it to dry, and then we'll be ready to expose the negative. can't believe I forgot to tell you guys about my brand new red LED strip that I attached to the ceiling the other day. I wanted to use it while I was applying the silver nitrate, but I forgot. At any rate, I gotta let this dry in the dark. And hopefully maybe I'll remember to use the red LED. Alright, it's dry. See those pencil marks? I can just barely make them out. Now, because I need to guess my exposure, and I want to be able to check the progress of the exposure, I'm going to just tape this negative down with some cellophane tape. That way I'll be able to lift up the negative without knocking it out of registration. Into the oven you go. So I'm gonna initially expose it for about 10 minutes, and then I'll pull it out and check it. If I need to give more exposure, I will. Fingers crossed. Alright, let's check our exposure. Hopefully it wasn't too much. That looks pretty good, actually. I think I'm going to go with that. Now I will process it. Processing is just in 20 degrees Celsius water. The water's nice and cloudy. So I'll keep developing it or clearing it until this water is clear, not cloudy. Time to fix. So I went a little lighter. It's not like a calotype. When you hit it with a fix, it intensifies. Dark areas get darker. So I fix for 3 minutes, and my fix is just 25 grams of sodium thiosulfate anhydrous into a liter of water. That is it. Now I'm going to rinse it, wash it, and hang it up to dry. And then I'll make my decision what I'm going to do next, but I think I'm going to be making another one and adding a lot more exposure, like maybe a full stop. Okay, I'm going to let it soak face down for a while, and then dump the water and repeat a few times. Alright, let's take a quick look at this. It looks pretty good, but I won't know for certain until it has dried, and I'll be able to judge it better. But it'll be neat to see how much this print will change after it's dried as far as color goes, contrast. So we'll probably compare the two. Okay, let's hang it to dry. It's dry. Not bad. Let's take a look at this and compare it to the tone of the wet print. I actually quite like this. And I quite like the tone. There should be a little bit more detail in there. I don't really care about the background. There should be a little bit more here. So, and the leaves are a little bit washed out there. If I give it more exposure, it's just gonna make it harsher. My dark shadows there that have a little bit of detail is gonna be empty. So I'm gonna need to find the effective density range with that X-ray film. That's a project I have in mind, actually.